time to get back to work. Listen, thank you so much. My family and I, we are beyond excited. This is exactly where we wanted to be. It's exactly where we wanted to be.
Everyone get back to work. That's hilarious. We've got the man himself joining us now, the newest head coach of the Chicago Bears, Ben Johnson. Ben, huge congratulations. Thank you so much for joining us here on First Take, and it's so nice to meet you. Besides telling everyone they got to get back to work, you also stated that you were exactly where you wanted to be in Chicago. Coach, when did you realize that?
It wasn't long after the interview ended that was really the perfect place. It was exactly what I thought about. I'd done some research in the spring and summer, potential openings. You know what could possibly pop up. The playoffs get so hectic that you don't exactly have time to sit there and think about too much other than the current job at hand. And so, listen, I was on that call with Ryan for 30 minutes, just me and him talking, and I was so impressed by not only the vision that he had, but the person that he is. I knew he and I would get along great. And then to get to see George McCaskey and Kevin Warren and understand, man, these guys are totally in this thing together. They're going to provide the resources necessary to turn this place around. I just felt great, really great about the situation.
I think congratulations, Coach. Really well deserved. I've been talking about you for weeks because I thought you were the right man for this job. 28th ranked offense in scoring, I think it is, and dead last in yards. Obviously, that was a problem for the Chicago Bears this past season. The priority would appear to be buffering that offensive line and obviously improving the development of Caleb Williams, who I think is going to be a stud. Is that the right thinking that you have right now? It's primarily about him and that offensive line. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, listen, I still think this game is won and lost in the trenches. So offensive line, defensive line, I think that takes priority almost every year that you're looking to bring talent into the building. With that being said, this has become a quarterback-driven league, particularly recently. Just the explosion of the passing game, the rules have made it that way, and scoring has gone up accordingly. And so we are here. We got to be able to support Caleb. The best way to do that is to keep him upright, no question about it. The other way to do that is to develop a strong running game. And so offensive line plays a key role in that. Our running backs got to be able to run hard and finish down the field, finish plays, and then we'll have a great supporting cast around them. So there's no question Caleb is at the forefront of our minds, but we need to bring the right people around him, and we need to build this thing together.
Coach, you made some news this week with something else you said, and I want to get to what everyone was talking about. You essentially calling out the Packers and their head coach, Matt LaFleur. Let's take a listen to that.
Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, you're talking about two guys that are up for Coach of the Year awards as the season ends here. And to be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year.
Coach, what message were you trying to send there?
It's just some friendly banter. I have a lot of respect for Matt. I've told him that as recently as a month ago. And so it comes from a good place. Listen, there is a strong rivalry here between the Bears and the Packers. I'm well aware of it. I'm well aware of this division. I have a ton of respect, obviously, for all the coaches. There's, I think, 17 Pro Bowl players here. There's a ton of talent. If anything, it's all about competition. And listen, we're going to get their best shot. We're going to give them our best shot, and we'll see where the chips fall.
Coach, when you've been in your years in Detroit, obviously the offense has been absolutely exceptional. And I'm thinking about 2 wide receivers and 2 running backs, all having more than 1,000 yards on this season. And I'm saying to myself, what do you think you're going to need to do in Chicago? Because you alluded to the running game, and obviously it's the Windy City, so you're going to have to run just as much as you throw, as far as I can tell. But talk to me about the adjustment you think, if there is one at all, that you're going to have to make from coaching in Detroit to being on that football field in Chicago.
Yeah, honestly, I can't tell you exactly how that's going to unfold yet. We got to get together, coaches and players. I wish it was as easy as just plopping down a playbook that I've been around in the past and saying, this is what we're going to do. But no, we're going to mold into what our players do well. I got to get to know Caleb a little bit better. We've had some great conversations so far, but until he and I really sit down for an extended period of time, along with the rest of the coaching staff, you don't know what direction this could possibly go. The good news is this: we're going to have a really experienced staff. I think we're going to have the right mix of guys here on this staff. We're going to have a lot of different special, but we can't go ahead and predetermine that. We really need to know who's going to be in the building first.
Coaching in the NFC North these last few years, as you have, do you believe it puts you at a distinct advantage to now be a head coach within that division?
No, listen, I know the talent level. I know the other coaches in this division. It's hard. It's a challenge. I get that. And honestly, as the competitor, that's what I want to be a part of. I wanted to take the hard road. That's really been the story of my career. I've gone the long way, the hard way. And it has played a huge role in wanting to stay in this division. So does it give me a leg up? I don't think so. The only way we make some noise here is if we do it the right way, which is through hard work and sacrifice. But if we have the guys in this locker room that are willing to do that, yeah, we'll see what happens.
You know, Coach, staying in the division, I want to talk about the Lions quickly because I have a soft spot in my heart for that city. Obviously, a heartbreaking loss to the Commanders, and now they lost yourself and DC Aaron Glenn, who takes over with the Jets. So huge congrats to him as well. What are your thoughts on the state of the Lions going forward?
I think they have built, and I'm talking about Brad and Dan. Miss Sheila is incredible. They have built a runway here to really be good for the next 3 years plus years. Honestly, they've got some great young talent. They've established the way that they want to do things. I think that they are going to be a monster to deal with here over the next few years. And I love all those players in that locker room. There's guys on offense that I called out in the press conference: Jared Goff, Frank Ragnow, St. Brown, Decker. I could keep going on and on and on. I'm going to miss them so much. They made me a better coach and a better person. And now I'll just get to see them twice a year on the opposing sideline. So that'll still be fun.
Coach, over the last 3 years, you patrolled an offense that scored more points and gained more yards than anybody in the National Football League over the last 3 years. Your resume speaks for itself. I'm wondering, as you look at the talent that the Detroit Lions had on this squad this year, I have to ask this question. I'm sorry. If it were not for the injuries, sir, what do you think would have happened with the Detroit Lions this past season?
There's no telling. There's no telling, but the head coach there made it clear the injuries didn't matter, and we were still able to accomplish a lot. We fell short of those goals. And so it really stung the way that season ended there in Detroit. So beyond that, it's hard to say where it would have gone, but we didn't earn it. We didn't deserve it. And so that's where it ended.
I like your answer, Coach, but I'll answer it. Stephen A., they'd be playing in championship weekend. Unfortunately, they're not. And, Coach, I want to stay with that subject and talk about Jaden Daniels specifically because he's something special.
Xin chào tất cả các bạn đã quay trở lại với kênh YouTube của mình. Video ngày hôm nay mình lại làm những video tô mổ để gửi tặng tất cả các bạn đây. Đây là những đồ vật, con vật của mình chuẩn bị tô mổ để gửi tặng tất cả các bạn. Đấy. Những sản phẩm của mình rất chi là nhiều rồi. Và không thể thiếu được hộp xăm màu của mình này các bạn ơi. Hộp xăm màu giúp mình tạo ra những sản phẩm tuyệt đẹp. Và bây giờ các bạn cùng theo dõi mình tô màu nha. Tiếp tục tô màu nha các bạn.
não somos nenhum.